Hi, welcome to my podcast, Becoming a Cut Flower Grower. I'm your host, Lydia, and I'm here to share my year of growing and selling cut flowers. I'll be giving you the lowdown on everything I'm doing and sharing all the highs and lows, the good times and the inevitable disasters, all in real time. Join me on my cut flower journey, starting right now. Hello and a very warm welcome to the latest episode, and happy Good Friday. It is Friday, the 3rd of April, 2026, and it is absolutely blowing a gale here at the moment. So even though Storm Dave apparently is incoming, thanks to our cousins over in the States, it's not supposed to be that bad here, but this huge, massive blanket of cloud has come over. And it's not normally this dark this early, but the chickens have gone to bed very early. So I thought I'd sit up here on the plot and do this evening's episode. So I've been looking at what flowers are seasonal at this time of year around the world, or rather what's sort of being used for celebrations. I didn't actually know. I mean, I know what's available at the moment. So over in where I am in the UK, we've got narcissi, tulips, hyacinths, pussy willow is gorgeous, and then lots of spring flowering branches as well, which are really nice. And I discovered that over in North America, they have a lot of Easter lilies, Lilium longiflorum, plus tulips and narcissi. I hope that's right. Italy and the South Med have olive branches and anemones for Easter. Spain has palm leaves and red carnations, apparently. Greece has white lilies, so Lilium candidum, and red flowers as well. And for our cousins down under in Australia and New Zealand, it's actually autumn, which is really strange. So I'm guessing end of the daily season and chrysanths doing their thing at the moment. I can't imagine celebrating Easter in autumn, actually. I must have done, because I've been to Australia. I've spent a year in Australia, so I must have celebrated Easter out there. I don't remember a thing about that. No surprise there. Now, other news, it's been chicken merry-go-rounds today. I made the executive decision that some of them were going to move houses, because Roland is in with Goose, and Goose is not very happy at the moment. She's the one whose bottom got eaten by Mo. We did have it all repaired, but it's never quite the same. So her back end sort of just slumps a little bit. And she's about 5 years old now. I had her since a baby. She was one of the first chicks that I ever hatched. And Roland, he's a lovely boy, and I just felt like he wasn't living his best life. And the girls who'd been out just milling about every day, I thought it was about time that we made one big flock with them and Roland, and then Goose could just be with Molly. So Molly and Roland can't be together, even though Molly's got the biggest crush in the world on Roland. Like, she is literally obsessed with him and spends all her time trying to get to him. But she's a bantam and she's tiny, and he's the most enormous boy you've ever seen in your life. And she has been crushed once or twice, and we can't let that happen anymore. So she can't ever hang out with him again. So Molly and Goose are going to hang out together in a sort of old chicken home section. And Roland has been running around all day with 7 or 8 girls. I've got so confused about the numbers that I've had to make a list of everybody's name just to make sure that everybody is in bed and in the right place. Because I put them all together this morning, went home to do some seed sowing, which I'll tell you about in a minute. And when I came back, Dove had just flown out and just left Roland. Like, she's got no time for cockerels at all. She can't stand Molly either, but there is literally nowhere else she can go unless she goes into the old person's section. I don't think she'll enjoy that either. So she's back with Molly. And so everybody's sorting themselves out on the purchase tonight. And it takes quite a long time when there's a bit of mixing. They've all got to work out the pecking order again and make sure that they're all in the right spot. So that is all fine. So back to today, I have been in the greenhouse buzzing around most of the day. I couldn't get in there straight away because my honeysuckle arch actually collapsed in the wind, and it's on a metal frame, and the frame had just worn through, like just rotted, and collapsed right over the entrance to my greenhouse, like of all the places to have a blockage. So I had to spend a bit of time propping that up and tying it back in because it's so windy. Everything's just flying around all over the place today. So before I could even get started, I had to do that. Now, I've been very busy sowing. Let me tell you, I've got my list here somewhere of what I have been sowing. Oh, here we are. So I've done a total of 530 seeds today. I have sown agrostemma again. I think that's the third batch. Snaps, larkspur, nigella, a pink one. I found my pink seeds from last year. I did sow them last year, but they never actually made it out of the tray. They sort of grew, started, and then just got abandoned and just died. I mean, we all do that. It's terrible. So I don't want that to happen this year. So I've done another batch of pink nigella, lots more Olaya, some panicum, saponaria, stocks, cornflower. Now, very, very dark black cornflower that I had growing on the plot last year, and it was really, really amazing, very striking. Just some very random ones popped up. So I put a marker on them and dried the seed, and then I've just had to collect all the seed. That took me a bit of time. I think they call it winnowing, when you have to separate all the seed from the chaff and the bits and seed cases and stuff. That took absolutely ages. Luckily, the seed is quite distinctive. They look like little tiny rockets. So once I got my eye in, which is no mean feat these days, I can tell you, I managed to get those guys out. So I've sown some of them, some more scabious, some more ami, and some echinacea, the white echinacea actually, which is of course a perennial. So I'm not hoping that it will do anything this year. It can just hang out, but it needs to be sown this year to be ready for next year. And then also some Clarkia, which is a sneaky one that I've just snuck in. And I was going to omit it from all of my spreadsheets and tables and everything, just literally have it as a sneaky one. And then I thought, no, because it'd be just my luck that it happens to do really well. And then I'll wish I'd collected all the data. So I have shoehorned that into the spreadsheet. I don't know if you ever grown Clarkia. It just looks incredibly pretty. And I was in the garden centre the other day getting some more vermiculite, which I use to top all of my seeds once I've sown them. And I saw them and I thought, yes, there is definitely room for one more annual. So I'm very much looking forward to seeing what that looks like. It looks super, super pretty. And what else? So yeah, as usual, I recorded the start time, the finish time, and then I've worked out the total number of minutes it took me to do the job and how many seeds I've sown. So then I can allocate for each of those particular seeds the time it took me to sow them. And I've done it as a sort of general basis. So I don't start recording for each individual seed. I just count like how many minutes it took me to do everything, and then how many seeds I took in that time. And then I just apportion it based on the number of seeds for each group. And that's because when I do my seed sowing, I do everything in batches is going to get confusing because you're going to think about batches of seeds, but I prep all of the seed trays first. So I fill all the seed trays and have them on the table ready to go. And I allocate a packet of seeds to each seed tray based on how many seeds I'm actually going to be sowing. Then I make sure the packets are opened. Then I get all the actual individual sachet that's inside the other packet, get them, put them on the top, and then I get my labels and I write the labels and I'll put a label on top, and then I'll stop. And then I'll go through and sow all the seeds and put the label in, put all the packaging away, and then I'll go through and put vermiculite down on the top, because I have found it so much easier to just do one task repeatedly. This is something that I heard on Jenny Marks's course. And apparently every time you switch your brain from one activity to another, it takes a second for it to catch up with what you're doing. And I have to tell you, it takes me a lot longer than 1 second when I switch between tasks. So I find it so much quicker and easier to just do all of the tasks together, grouped together. And then you kind of just get your hand and your eye in. And I find that a much faster way of doing it. So I did quite a lot today. I was quite pleased with that. So overall, I've got well over 1,000 seeds sown already, and there's obviously thousands more to do, but it's not a bad start. Although I haven't started my half hardies yet, and I've just seen a post on Instagram, someone saying, "Oh, you've got to start your cosmos this weekend," and I'm thinking, "Oh my goodness, that is not in my schedule." And but do you know what? Then I thought, well, actually, she might not be in the same growing zone as me, and her last frost date could be different. So that could be why. I should probably go and check that out. Because, just because somebody says you should do something this weekend, then if it's not the right weather conditions or soil conditions or whatever, then don't take any notice. but it just frightened the life out of me for a second. And my greenhouse, I'm also recording the temperatures in my greenhouse. And I had started to record when I'd noticed that things had germinated and was hoping to carry on with that so that I knew for next year. But that slightly hit the skids because I've also been house sitting as well. So I haven't even been at home. So I'm home now, but it's all been a little bit haphazard with just keeping like an eye on when things germinate. But anyway, everybody's doing absolutely fine out there, and the vegetables are also doing really well, which is great. So I need to make some plans for that. And I've also got a whole load more sweet peas to do. So I finished with all the ones that I bought brand new from English Sweet Peas, which used to be Roger Parsons, done all of those. And now I've got a whole load of seeds that I harvested from the stems that I didn't sell last year. So it'll be interesting to see how they perform as well. And the other reason I'm interested to see how they do and how the cornflower do is because my understanding, and I might be wrong about this, is that when you sow seed that you've harvested yourself, it's from plants that are used to your soil and the conditions and everything. And so I'm hoping that the seeds that I've kept for myself are going to have a little bit of an advantage on the ones that have been brought in. And it's also nice to know that the seeds that I'm growing myself are organic, even though I'm not certified organic. But as you know, I don't use any chemicals or anything on the plot. Oh, a rat just ran past me. That's nice. Lovely. So at least it's like a small percentage of my seeds are organic. And I would certainly like to improve that going forward. So I'll be harvesting a lot more this season for next season. Now, no sign of any dahlias on the plot. I was going to go out and do a little walk around the plot and have a chat to you as I was out there, but because it's so windy, it will absolutely destroy the audio quality, which is not something that we want to happen after the debacle last week. And the new microphones haven't arrived yet. To be fair, they weren't due until after Easter anyway, but you're always hopeful that they'll turn up early. So yeah, that's everything that is going on at the moment. I have finally, maybe I don't know whether I should tell you this because it would be tempting fate, but you know the whole tulip debacle I've had, and they've just been eaten wherever they've gone. Even when I put them on top of a massive metal shed, something went in there and ate them. And in desperation, I took them down and I've put them on the sink in Kylie's room. And touch wood, and I'm literally touching a table right now, nothing has happened to them since they've been on the sink in Kylie's room. I do not understand that. I wish I'd known that about 3 months ago. It would have saved a lot of aggravation. But anyway, they're just sitting in there. So I'll probably come back tomorrow morning and find they've all been totally destroyed. But so far, there are actually tulips like coming up, which is super exciting. And I did have a nice time this morning. I thought I'm going to make myself an Easter arrangement. Now, normally I make an Easter tree, which is just lots of branches. And I've actually been collecting branches covered in mossy bits and lichen and stuff, which I thought would make the most amazing Easter tree. And then because I've rearranged the spare room, I can't find all my dangly Easter egg bits. You know, like you have a bag or a box of Easter stuff, and I have one of those boxes, and it's got a variety of little woven Easter things, Easter eggs, little bunnies, all those sorts of things to go on my Easter tree. Well, I can't find that box. So I have all of these sticks and pussy willow and some forsythia and some various other bits and pieces. And then I've basically got the arrangement, but I haven't got anything to hang it, so it doesn't look like an Easter tree. But it was nice to do something a little bit creative this morning. And the other thing I did, I've got quite a bit of green alkanet, which is that thing that looks like borage, but it's not borage. But it's got these very pretty tiny blue flowers, a bit like forget-me-nots, but then the stalks are about, 3 foot, 4 foot tall. So I went and picked a whole bunch of them this morning, stripped all the leaves off them, and just put them in a vase, and they look very, very pretty and very classy. And I think I could almost sell those, actually. In fact, I might have a go at selling them, because once the horrible, horrible leaves are off, they actually look really very classy. And they they're just a really nice, classy looking plant, really. So because it is Good Friday, this is going to be a shorter episode tonight. I'm not going to do the plant profile either. I'm going to draw this to a conclusion now, and wish you all the very, very best for a wonderful Easter, wherever you are and however you are celebrating. And I will be back next Tuesday for the next episode, as always. So have a wonderful weekend. All the very best.